Hey all, welcome to Steve Wrangler's Chameleon Adventures. Today's Southern Arboreals is on a road trip to Steven's dad's house. Now you might have noticed Steven had a big, burly, lumberjack kind of beard. He didn't get that from his dad. He actually got that probably from his mom, I don't know. But you can edit that out, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, Dad, so go ahead and tell us about your chameleons.
Well, son, first off, I want to say thanks for making me part of your road trip. Our reptile adventures actually started many years ago by living vicariously through you and your adventures. And most recently, a couple of years ago, when you actually moved from California and you brought all of your reptiles with you, your green tree pythons, you even had an emerald tree boa, as well as your crested geckos that you've been very successful at selling and mating. And I got to be honest, I was really quite jealous when y'all were living in my basement for a year and one half of it was an entire gecko room. Cool operation. So anyway, we've always been excited about it. My wife Shannon actually made an impulse buy and bought a female Jackson's chameleon, which they originate from Kenya. They're a cold climate species, meaning that they can actually they have some really unique humidity and temperature requirements, one of which is at night. They don't need a heat lamp. They actually prefer it to be colder. So with our current lighting system that we have just a regular basking light for daytime temperatures and UVB light for proper bone density and helps them digest their food. But at night, everything gets turned off at 6:30. Everything's on a timer. And both our female and our male will go down lower, put their pajamas on, and go to sleep. We actually woke them up so they could participate today. Cool part about that is you got a little fired up, so you got to see some of the colors that we see during the daytime. But anyway, it all started with a female Jackson's, and Shannon went ahead and got the Reptibreeze cage. This one is 16 by 16 by 30. Good size for a Jackson. If you were going to have anything larger like a Veil or a Panther or anything like that, you'd want to have something bigger. They do have some that are as tall as 4 feet, I think. But for what we're doing, it suits her needs just fine. Female on the right, she actually started with the name of Sleestack because we were both Land of the Lost fans. I happened to find Will because Steven had seen him at a Petco. I know generally you don't want to buy your reptiles from a pet store, but I went in and looked at him. Perfectly healthy boy, very interactive. He was eating well. I grilled the guy at Petco for probably the better part of 30 to 45 minutes to get his habits. What was he eating? He was eating some mealworms, but really favored crickets. So I went ahead and rescued him from Petco. I don't like that word, but I made an impulse buy and got myself a male Jackson's chameleon. We have no intent to breed them. We have a divider between the two cages so they don't see each other. I think when Will first got here, I think he was a little stressed out because he could see Holly next to him. The reason for the name Will and Holly is because originally she was called Sleestack, but then we went with the Land of the Lost theme. Some of you may not remember that. Those of you in your 30s, 40s, and 50s might. Also, you might have seen the Will Ferrell movie, Land of the Lost, where they had Sleestacks. Obviously, chameleons have got this grip, same as the Sleestack, so it's naturally fitting. Unique part about the male Jackson is they have 3 horns, so who the heck doesn't want to have a Triceratops in their collection? Awesome chameleon to have. If one day we do decide that we may want to breed them, I hesitate right now because once she incubates for 9 months, she'll give live birth to, could be up anywhere between 6 and 16 or even up over 20 babies. what are you going to do with 20 babies, right? You need fruit fly cultures, you need bean beetles, you need everything, as well as where are you going to house your baby chameleons? Where are you going to get rid of them? Our backup plan has always been southern arboreals because I know that Stephen would take care of them. But we're trying to be responsible and do the responsible thing. Maybe someday if I stumble across $1,000 for extra Reptibreeze cages or whatever I need, maybe we'll think about it. But right now our attitude is just enjoy our pets, which a lot of people don't do. Just enjoy your pets. Chameleons, for example, they don't like you. They don't like to be held. They don't like to be stressed. They want to be watched, and they want to eat. That's about it. Especially these guys, we've always been hands-off with them because we don't want to stress them out, because we figure we've had them for 5 or 6 weeks. Gives them a chance to get settled into their environment. Now, the one thing that we do now is we do open up both doors when we feed them. We put crickets in. We have a homemade cricket feeder here. That was at first really the only way I could get Will to eat. I knew he was eating, but I wanted to see him eat. So he actually free ranges now. We could probably take that out, but I feel better knowing he's got extra food in that feeder. Holly is no problem. From day one, all she's done is eat. Eat, eat, eat. Stephen was able to hand feed her dubia. I can't. Whenever I open the door and put my hand in, she turns sideways to get away from me. That's fine. But, you know, that's kind of how Stephen is. You know, Reptile Wrangler Jr., right? You should go by Reptile Wrangler.
I should. That would be great.
Because you are the man.
Yeah.
Just a little bit about their setup and the routine that we have. I give them a dusting of Reptical with no D in it every day. Every 2 weeks, I will give them calcium with vitamin D3. D3 really helps with bone structure and density. In their natural environment, they're outside. They're in the sun all day long. They don't need supplements. They get their supplements from the minerals that are, you know, on the bugs that they eat out in the wild. Here, not so much. Kind of a sterile environment, so you need to give them their supplements to make sure that they're healthy. A little bit about the lighting. We do have a little dripper system on the top. I don't know if you can see it or not. I took a little dripper. My personal review is you need to tinker with it every day to get it to work. But I took some airline hose and split it and put a gangway controller with 2 valves so I can control this side and that side so that they do get the dripper. Both drippers have a Porthos plant directly below them. Eventually this plant will grow and we'll be able to string it up so that they'll have more to hide behind. We did put a lot of artificial vines in between to help block the view. But I think, from what I've read, more research I've done, we should have more vines. We should have more plants, especially in the back of both cages. Chameleons like to feel secure. So the next step, I'm going to find a couple umbrella plants, because umbrella plants are a safe plant for most chameleon species, including Jackson's. I'll put that right in the bottom, and it should come right up through the top and grow, and it should be healthy for both of them. Thanks for coming to visit my basement. I'm Steve Wrangler of Steve Wrangler's Chameleons.